And welcome back everybody, Basil's the name, and today we're back on Arknights. I know we left off at the event, which we've wrapped up, except for the H maps. I will do them some other time when I feel like doing high difficulty maps. For today though, we've got some integrated strategies, which is Arknights' way of saying roguelike mode. There are several different levels, by now there's 5. I'm not even sure what we're actually on. I think the first one ever released, and this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could be wrong though. The video title will probably name it properly. If you're new to Arknights, I do recommend you do these. They are really good to grab materials from. I've actually finished a couple. Oh, well, one, and highly leveled up the others. And today we're going to do the Sui's Garden of Grotesques. I've, on release, played a lot of it. That's why we're on level 5. It does basically inch up difficulties, like some games have prestige or other difficulties that you unlock as you keep going. And as a reward for playing through these, you get currency and you get experience points, as well as a lot of materials and sometimes skins and other good stuff. This kind of stuff also helps greatly for anybody beginning. When I started out, I was basically just farming this level and did everything, and it carried me throughout my entire early game. Fairly hard. And, well, this is the newest, so we'll go through this. You can start exploring, and when you do, you get a choice between different kinds of bonuses, like sort of like classes, but not entirely. They all give you different kinds of bonuses. I will, for today, just choose to pick probably this one, where 4-star medics and snipers cost 1 less to recruit and promote. You can then pick up different sets. You always start with 3 units, or 3 characters. And these are all predestined, what you get, not the character itself, but the class. Here you get a guard, a supporter, and a medic. And the final one is purely random, with one of them being free and guaranteed as a 5-star. So I like randomness, so we'll go ahead and do the random one. We get an advanced guard voucher, so we get a free 5-star guard, which is Spectre. Okay, cool. So we'll pick up Spectre. And then we still get a specialist and a supporter for free. We start out with 6 points, I think they're called trust, to recruit characters. 6 stars take up 6 points, 6 trust. And as the lower it goes, the less trust. Hope is the word. Yep, hope is the word. Hope is going to be required in different varying amounts. 4 stars are free, everything below them is also free. Then 5 stars cost 2 points, and 6 stars cost 6 points. It's all fairly balanced. Now here's the thing, we get a supporter afterwards, and I know for a fact that the only supporter that we'll have access to is going to be Radian. We can't actually just look at it. And if you are early in the game, like I was back then, you might not have good characters. You might not even have leveled characters. I always recommend people just level up the 3 stars and the 4 stars a little bit at least. But you know what else is there? Support characters. You're not limited to one. Like in usual stages, you can actually almost always pick up supports and basically get carried that way. Characters like Texas the Omertosa, as well as Kirin Ariato, that you might not have access to, or Exia if you don't have her, are incredibly useful characters and are incredibly powerful and will carry you through a good bit of the map, even if you don't have good characters at this point of the game. Whatever you do, if you pick up a character, they will always come in at the first promotion, and you need to pick them up again, recruit them again, to get them on the final promotion and to actually also get their modules. Now, we don't actually have enough points left for Radiant, which is fine. We will just pick up Earth Spirit as our supporter here. Okay, let's enter. Now, Sue's Garden of Grotesques has its own set of gimmicks, like every one of these. We don't need to get too far into it. Basically, you get a random amount of coins, or you always get 3, but the types of coins you get are always different. You always have a basket, like a deck of cards, and you always draw 3 from that deck of cards, essentially. That gives you a buff or some sort of loot. In this case, we get 4 ingots, which is the currency for the roguelike mode. And this one gives all enemies minus 30% max HP. And I don't know if that's for the entire level. Effect active on this floor. There we go. So yeah, it's for the entire floor. And each floor has several levels, similar to games like Slay the Spire and other deck building games. In this case, your deck is your character roster, your operator roster. And you just battle through map, through map, through map, get a trader eventually, and eventually move on to the next stage. Eventually fighting bosses. Now, you can check out what enemies you have got if you've fought it before, so you can know what you are up against. I think Pest Control was really nasty, so I'm actually going to go for serious business. I'm also going to check here, yeah, we do get another operation. Operations are the battles, and as usual with these kinds of things, you do want operations or battles to get more loot. And encounters always give you something random. It's like question mark maps on games like Slay the Spire. So yeah, we just want loot. We start out with these. I'm going to put Exia on her skill 2 because that's probably the best skill there is. Spectre, I'm actually not too sure about. Earth Spirit is fine. We'll just see how it goes. Now, the reason you don't need to level them too much is because usually if you don't plan on promoting them in the level, you're actually fine on the first promotion level for the most part, especially early on. So we'll place down Exia. She will deal with a lot of this. There is an activatable statue geist, which is a gimmick inside of this integrated strategies. It basically constantly spawns enemies, but for 20 DP we can turn it off. We'll just go ahead and activate Exit just to get a board clear going. We do want to hopefully destroy that thing. Yeah, okay, so that gave us some loot, which is always good. Once we have 20 DP, we will actually just go ahead and deactivate this thing. Earth Spirit will slowly but surely kill it as well, but it takes ages with 28,000 life. A chopper will move through, destroy these rocks, which is absolutely fine for us. Earth Spirit won't do much here. She'll eventually hit him. Okay, good. And Exia is also going to clean up. Sometimes you get good characters early on and you can just clear the first few maps fairly easily. Generally speaking, the first level, like not this kind of stage, not the stage here, but like you saw the entire row with the shop and everything. Once you clear a whole level like that, you do get enough points to be done with it if you don't have enough of a character roster to deal with it. In this gimmick, you can actually reserve or conserve your vouchers to recruit more characters for a later time, which we'll almost always want to do in here. We'll see why later. As I said, we get another fight here. But yeah, at the end of this, you go into the next stage and your score, which gives you the points for which you get your XP and money and everything from that line you saw before. Clearing a floor will give you a lot of points already, so if you can't go beyond the first floor, that's generally fine. I started out just getting like the first few, like 1 or 2 floors at most, and that is generally good to go until you get enough XP and currency to just keep going and upgrade your characters and actually clear further than you were before, which is also a good show of strength for yourself. Now here we've got a lot of dudes. We'll place down Exia. This guard here is on our side. We'll just go ahead and place down a spirit like so. Clear a little bit. And I'm going to probably place down Spectre right here, since we can. Not that we necessarily need her to do much, because Exia and Co will just deal with everything. But we might as well just place them down. You also get almost free quests where you get a random, or not random, it's always predetermined, but it's basically a really strong 6-star that you're like guaranteed to have for the run, with a gimmick that enhances its gimmick. Like if you get a summoner, you get items that enhance summoning strategies, etc. And they're almost always free to clear because they are not difficult, so you might as well do them. Every month there is a new one. I've already done the one for this month because, well, they're quick and easy to do. Usually you don't even need to be good. This one was actually a summoner and you just had to summon its thing 20 times, and it didn't even have to be within the same run. So be sure to do your integrated strategies maps and get the loot. Especially if you're a new player or a player that hasn't done everything. Maybe you were scared of doing integrated strategies because, I don't know, maybe you thought it was really difficult. But free loot is free loot, and especially in this game. Well, upgrading your characters is incredibly, very valuable. So we cleared this map. If you have your life points, instead of the 3 per map, you start up with 8 here. I think you start up with less, unless you upgrade things. But yeah, if you do not lose life, you get a flawless victory, which gives you bonus loot. There's also objective shields, which basically give you bonus life without affecting your main life. It's like temporary hit points in D&D. You also get XP for the run, which is your command level, which gives you bonus like deployment, etc. And you get Iridium ingots, which is money. You get items like the Sealer's Path advancements. Medic operators have minus 2 DP cost and 60% extra HP, which is actually fairly useless for us. And we get another recruitment voucher, which is a caster. We are going to save that up. We can conserve up to 5 because at the end of this we'll actually be able to use it. Every map has, or every game mode of these integrated strategies has a way to skip to across to the other line of the map. In this case I need 3 tickets. I only have 2 though, so I can't skip it here. Others are much easier to skip the lane with. But yeah, now we'll go to the trader. It doesn't matter which one you click. And you get money, and like in most things like Binding of Isaac, you have a bank and you can save up your money in here. I just like to do that, and eventually the bank breaks, so you can't save up anymore. It's literally Binding of Isaac in that case. We can get an elite ranged, which is pretty good. Yeah, I'll do that for 8 points. I do want to keep it just because then it's always a lit candle, which matters for this game mode. I'll explain it when we get to it. Emperor's Favor is all friendly melee units get plus 15% attack, which is really good. Smoky Candle turns an operator into a candle guest. I'll explain that later, but that's actually also really good. And you can buy coins eventually, but I really don't like the entire coin and card deck system. This is your deck of coins essentially that gets randomly pulled. I never really care about it because it's too random. You can refresh the shop, but we're going to actually buy the Emperor's Favor just because it's really good. Getting plus 15% attack on all our melees is insanity. Wander into Wonderland. Now this is the special gimmick of this one. We get 3 base candles and we can basically travel. We can also decide not to travel to this point, but it's kind of a waste, so you always just travel to this point. You travel into a separate map, roll more coins, which is, again, useless for this. And then you have this kind of map to clear. You can spend your candles, which I have 4. And whenever you go inside of one of these nodes to check them out, you spend a candle. And in this case, the shop will actually cost us our objective, or our HP. Oftentimes it's really good, like Cast Operators is having plus 25% attack and attack speed is really, really good. Snack Basket, 100% natural SP recovery affects us until they are manually activate and E-skill. Bend spears of guards have plus 2 SP after each attack, which is also good. Victory Horn is also decent with certain setups, but we will pick up this because I do believe we had a caster voucher saved up. I can actually check that here. Yeah, we do have a caster voucher saved up. And I might want to just, since we still have 5 HP, pick this one up. Now we only have 1 HP, but we do have that one objective protection. So we might be fine. I'll go ahead and go into retrieve. Sometimes we get some life from it. Yeah, there we go. Plus 3 life. When it says you gain plus max HP points, you also regain that much normal HP. Now we only have 2 cannons left. Remember, we went into 2 places. There are purple maps, which are basically battles. You do not lose points for the battle, but they are generally really difficult. In this gimmick, though, for this world, you can kind of potentially clear it. If you kill an enemy in one run, they won't be there when you re-attempt this map. And when you eventually clear the map, you still get pretty good loot. So we might... No, we don't have any candles. There's unlit, no salty, so we can't even attempt this map. We'll soon be able to, though. We can go into a legend. Maybe we can do something with it. Usually it doesn't really matter what it says. Just click the option here that is most relevant. Recover 3 life points. Sounds really good after we just spent 10 or 8, 7 life points before in the shop. There we go. There's also leisure where you can gamble away your money and your hope. But we don't really want to do that yet. We actually want to save our hope. So we'll go into another legend and just see what we can get. We can apparently flip a coin for something. We obtained enlightenment. Which the coins steer. We get a special coin. Which we can swap out with another coin in our deck. Again, I don't really care about the coins. Somebody might like this mode a lot for the coins. I just don't really care because they're too random. Just try and read them a little bit to notice if they will screw you over or not. So now we have Pathfinders. As the first map, or the first mission in a way, for every second floor, is always going to be Pathfinder, which allows you to use your conserved recruitment vouchers. That's why I saved them up, and when you do so, you also light the candles for the operators. So we'll go ahead and open up the elite ranged recruitment voucher first. When you do so, that's also always going to be cheaper. We'll actually pick up Archetto. Archetto, if you don't have her, or if you're planning to get her, or if you can get her, she's really good in this mode. Her module is basically bonkers because it allows her to actually work really well with a lot of things here. It's specifically made for integrated systems, and a lot of characters by now actually have a special integrated system skill. So yeah, we get Archetto. We are also going to pick up a caster, which Amir counts as every class you've unlocked. So if you already have, well, she's obviously a caster Amir, but she's currently healer Amir, so despite being a healer currently, she's still counting as a caster for integrated systems strategies. We are going to actually pick up, because she is a good healer early on and can also do damage. And then we'll just pick up a Vanguard. Nothing too fancy. I do just like picking up Ponk. You can also pick up Myrtle if you really want to. I just hate using Myrtle. So now we can leave. Since we've used up all our vouchers, we can choose between 2 different maps. Let's see which one is going to be easier. I'm actually not too sure. This one might be. Okay, so we can ready up. We have 3 slots to place our characters in. You unlock more slots to place characters in depending on your command level. You can actually check out what that does. Upgrading to the next level gives us plus max hope and plus life points, but it can also increase our squad size eventually, just not on this next level. So we can go to quick select. We can recruit Archetto. We pick skill 3 because that's probably her best. She is set on her integrated strategy skill. Only when inside there, she restores 1 skill point to all deployed sniper allies that have an offensive recovery skill, which is really, really good. And all operators with offensive recovery skills will benefit from this effect and will gain SP from Archetto's attacks. And operators with offensive recovery skills have plus 50% attack while their skill is active. It's really, really good. And you can see the little sign, the pink sign in the corner that says that they're lit. We can place on Kairos, and we can also use Amir. Her skill can only be used once per battle skill is actually really good. Another reason to pick her up. And let's go. Sometimes you want to build around certain characters, sometimes you just have to take a pick of what you can get, and sometimes you just pick whatever's really good anyways, because sometimes the game is just pick the good stuff. And you don't need to think too much, like in normal Arknights. We'll place down Exia to start this out. We can activate Ponk. That guy disappeared off and will probably appear over there. Okay. We can place Archetto like here, I guess. She won't really hit anything. I just want the money. And she does actually gain attack range with her ability or trait. For every deployed operator with an offensive recovery skill. That's her IS skill. Yep. Then she gets +1 attack range. And currently there's only one, which is herself. Right? Yeah. We don't have another one currently with us. Right? Yeah. Okay. We might as well just pick up army over there. We can throw down Earth Spirit right there. Those jetpack guys will be annoying pretty soon. That's why I'm being very safe. We can activate Ponk. Jetpack guy should be dealt with Archetto. We can go ahead and activate Amir. We can also might as well just activate Archetto. On her skill activation, she actually increases her range as well. We can place down Spectre here, just so that she might take the aggro instead of Archetto, which actually works fine. Activate X here. And at this point, we're just waiting for the clear. The enemies aren't nearly as difficult in these early stages compared to Chapter 16 as we cleared before. They will always take some characters that happened in previous events or in previous chapters, which is kind of fun. We just need to kind of hope here that Archetto gets her skill. There we go. Good. That is another mission cleared. We got another flawless victory. We got to our level 3 for command. We get some money and a Vanguard recruitment voucher. We might as well keep the voucher. Now we can go on to look out above. That's a weird map, but we can probably just do it anyway. Have to. We don't really have a choice, but it's still a weird map that might be dangerous, because there's going to be high damaging goats and we don't really have that great of a melee lineup. We need to block a lot is basically the difficulty here. I do kind of want Spectre here next. There we go. Activate Ponk. Place down Exia. This is why, because these goats are always a pain, and one of the goats actually just made its way through anyways, but it's fine. We just lost our objective shield, which means we won't lose our flawless yet. We might as well deactivate this now. We have enough SP. We can place down Archetto, and we can place down Earth Spirit. Activate Archetto because we might as well. We need to deal with that enemy there. We can use Armia for that. We can activate Exia. And there we go. Earth Spirit is actually quite nice because her hits do slow enemies down. Now you might be wondering, how long are we going to play? We're already on 24 minutes. What's the deal? We are going to play until we die, or at least half an hour. I think that's pretty much a good point. At least half an hour of a run. If we die early, I just stop the recording and do another one. And otherwise, I just want to have a good half an hour run here. And if it's a good run, we'll actually go on for far longer. This is just coins. No, these are actually buffs. We can all operators gain plus. Yeah, plus 20% HP and attack, and clearing maps in Sue's Garden actually increases that by 10% each time. That's good. We get a Pathfinder up there, which means we can hand in our units again. Wander into Wonderland is also good though. And here is a boss. This is the first boss map that we need to clear, and actually it's also a difficult one. It's actually a pretty tough one. Hook, line, and sinkers. This map, it's actually quite annoying because there's dragons that eat our enemies or our units. We can do it though. We should be able to clear this fairly well. We do have 2 melees to just sack into the dragons. We can ignore the lower area here. There comes the first dragon. Activate Exia. Place down Conk. They can't be really damaged unless they've eaten something. That's why you just need to sacrifice units into them. I'll place down Armia down here just to help clear away those dudes. You can also place down Earth Spirit. Continue helping to clear out those dudes. Once the dragons die, they will plop back the unit they ate. You can place down Spectre as well. I am contemplating placing down a Chetto fairly soon. I do kind of want to place her down here to deal with the dragons. Yeah, sounds good. We might as well activate Armor just to help clear out those lines of enemies. With a good bit of AoE. Spectre can clear those dudes along with our Chetto. Spectre will eventually just die to a dragon spawning there. I think 2 more dragons spawn. You don't really need to activate much DP. DP isn't that necessary here because you don't have that many characters to pick from. But it's still always good to have. Activating our Chetto just to really make sure to burst down the dragons. Might as well place down Spectre here. That's annoying, losing 1 HP. Oh well. Don't think we can stop that too much. We just are on the waiting game now until they clear away those dudes. We might have been also fine just placing our Chetto to face like this way. Like placing on the tile the right of our Mia and just facing towards here. But, oh well. Or facing Spectre to the right would have also helped. So now we lost our perfect score. Yeah, we lost one. We don't have our perfect score. It's fine though. Gain 2 more monies. Bal Rainbow. It's a coin on toss operators deployed on leftmost vagary tiles, which are the yellow tiles you saw on the maps. Gain plus 60% attack speed, which is fine. It's just a random coin though, so I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. And recruit a Vanguard. We will keep the voucher because I think we're about to go into Pathfinder. Yep, we are in Pathfinder now. So we'll use that. Spend our Vanguard vouchers, I guess. Sometimes you do get free ones, so I will actually pick up Tulip because she's pretty good. Pick up another Vanguard. We can promote here. We don't need too many more, and we don't really have that much space. So we might as well just upgrade them as we go. Now they're promoted, and they have their full power. You can go into face-off. This is usually a battle that you can pick yourself. And we can actually place Tulip in here. We might pick Exia for this one, I guess. Bout by the Dusk River. Get a choice of different enemies to face, and then you need to choose which units you use for that battle. This is a boss for Tuna. I don't know if we can kill it. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. Oh, we need to select our operators, so we need to place down Exia here, I guess. Can't place down anymore. This is fine. Can we burst down a boss? We'll have to see. How far does the boss step forward? On the first tile. Fine. There. Place down Exia. And activate Exia. And hopefully we can burst down the boss. Either we can or we can't. I just kind of wanted the good loot. There we go. Good. So now we get some special kind of loot since we did, I think, the most difficult one of them. The rightmost is always the tougher one. We get money. We get a recruitment voucher of our choice, which we'll pick up the sniper one. And we do have enough hope to actually pick some really good characters. And I'll go ahead and pick up Rosmontis. I really like Rosmontis. I just really like her. I spent so much time saving up points to get all the pulls to finally get her, so I might as well. Yes, I could have waited, but oh well. Brood Realm, for every flower coin in a coffer, all operators gain plus 10% attack and 20% HP. That's fine. Recruiter Specialist. We are actually going to keep this one. Be smart. I kind of forgot. That said, I do think I do need the unit for the boss fight, so maybe not the worst of choices. A playful Lampower. We can send somebody into the future here and upgrade them. Or we can just pick up the Hope. We can't place another unit in here. We do need the melees. We could send Earth Spirit into the future since she's not that powerful. So we will just send Earth Spirit into the future. Let's go into the boss. We will pick up Rosmontis. Pick her on offensive recovery because again, Archetta actually boosts that. And I think we can go in here and see if we can beat this boss. If we can, woohoo! If we can't, I kind of expect that. This is one of the tougher bosses for this early game, basically. Place down Ponk. Especially these ice nodes here always stink. And we don't have a good healer available to us. Activate Ponk. We can go ahead and place down Archetto here. We can also place down Exia here and hopefully kill that dude because he's always annoying. He will summon things that block our ranged operators. We can... well, wherever we place stuff's going to be difficult. Might as well just place down Tulip over there. Keep them occupied. She has a skill to basically AoE attack everything and then generate DP, which is pretty good. It's fairly strong. Exit can also burst down the boss fairly well. Archetto too. I believe there's 2 bosses though. So I'm not holding my breath yet. Though I do believe Exia is probably one of the better characters to burst down a boss with. Okay. Now it's on to waiting. 60 more units. Let's see. I wish there was a 3x or 4x speed. I think that's the one thing that we players are always complaining about. Better speed up. Activate Tulip. Burst down that katana dude. I don't want to use Archetto too soon here. It's pretty much what is going on in my mind. But I guess I might as well now. There is actually no extra boss coming in. I thought there was 2 bosses here. Oh well. We might as well place down Spectre here, along with our Mia, in case Spectre isn't enough. No, okay, good. Okay, that was actually fairly easy. Maybe that's one of the easier ones. No, I was sure there was two. Oh well, it's been a while since I played this. 5 ingots, toss 1 extra coin, life, blah. I don't really care about the coins. We get a backline coordination senior recruitment voucher, which gives us basically everything ranged, I guess. That's pretty cool. I will go ahead and keep that voucher though, since that is the smart thing. At the start of battle, a random operator gains plus 20% attack and defense, plus an additional 20% at the end of each victorious battle. That is really good. Because it stacks. I mean, it's random, but it's also really good. As long as we keep the same team, it'll always be safe to do. Earthspirit has returned. Emergency ops are like boss stages in a way in other games. They're basically just much elite stages, you could say. We do want to try and head to... Okay, Wander into Wonderland is the required back there. We can take the stage. I'm not sure which one this was. That was this one. Okay, we can do this. We don't need Earth Spirit here, and I'm not actually going to pick her up. We are going to stick with this team. As you can see, these integrated strategies ones can run fairly long, but that is totally fine. You don't have to do everything in one sitting. You can leave and return to it in the future. I just like to generally do them all at once because you might not remember what you've done after a while. I'm going to place down Rosamonte somewhere here. I'll place an Exia like so first to deal with those guys. Place Armia there. Place Spectre here. Activate Armia just because we can. Activate Spectre. Oh, we're fine. Activate Honk. And we can place down Rosamontes into here because she'll just be able to deal with a lot of this. We basically just don't want them to go up the tunnel in the top left because then they'll go down here and it's much tougher to deal with them once they're down there. Activate Orchetto. The barrel holders are really, really tanky. Activate Spectre, activate Exia. This might be getting really poorly here because there's too much tankiness and we're sadly getting too many guys through. We might lose here for this actually. Pong is currently holding some of them. The cannoneer up there is too much of a difficulty as well though, and there's 2 more barrel holders. We really need our Cheto to activate her skill here and Exia to activate her skill. Activate Spectre, if I can, please, game. Kill the cannon holder, and I think we still lose here, unfortunately. This is exactly what I mean. Sometimes I'm stupid. I shouldn't have placed Exia there. I should have just kept her back. Then again, killing the guys up top that come in from the right arrows is also important. Oh well. Was that a stupid way to die? Yes. Sometimes that happens. But look at it this way. We cleared 4 floors. I do believe the garden floors count in this game mode. We have taken certain steps, which are all the missions and everything we did. The battles that we fought, the operators we recruited, everything we've done accounts for our score. And we get 500 points, 573 points, and we gain 3 lost knowledge. The points are actually enough to get a level up, which is good. Which means we get free loot. We also level up Radiant because that's the gimmick of this particular one. We gained 50k money, which is always good. and the lost knowledge that we got are basically a super special currency to gain permanent upgrades. It's like a roguelite in a way. You get plus coupons, plus loot in roguers, you get, or in rogue traders, you get plus max life points, you get extra pathfinder nodes, you get attack buffs, you get HP buffs, everything buffs. It's all really nice. Now I didn't see these ones. These must be new. Interesting. I'm not too fussed by them yet. I do want to pick up the basic stuff. Like in most of the roguelite strategies, you do want to pick up your basic buffs, like this attack buff. Do I have another obvious attack buff? Deployment limit, squad limit? I mean, the deployment limit would have actually helped, because then we could have placed down Lotus, I think it was, something. But we don't have enough lost knowledge for that. Saving them up is also usually not the best thing. So we might as well put that into here. +1 option when Tongbao is dropped. I don't really care about the Tongbao. I do care about the attack buff that we can get eventually. +4% is very meaningful. Anyway, you can see here that the last one was Ling. You just had to place 20 over dragons, just in case you're curious what that was. Now, next time, we will continue our path through Sue's Garden of Grotesques, IS6, I believe. Maybe 7, I don't know. We'll find out what the episode says. And then we hopefully don't blunder like we just did. Anyway, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.